Esselamu Aleyküm ve Rahmetullah. Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Allahümme ehdina fîmen hedeyt ve afina fîmen afeyt ve tevellena fîmen tevelleyt ve barik lena fîmâ e'tayt ve qina şerre mâ qadayt fe inneke teqdî ve lâ yuqdâ aleyk. İnnehu lâ yezullu men ve'aleyt ve lâ ya'uzzu men âdeyt. Tebârekte Rabbena felekel hamd. Tebârekte Rabbena felekel hamd. Felekel hamdu alâ mâ qadayt. Nestağfiruke Allahümme ve netûbu ileyk. Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Rabbi şrah li sadri ve yessir li emri ve hlul ukdeten min lisani yefkahu kavli ve cealli veziran min ehli Harun ahi üştud bihi ezri ve eşriku fi emri key nusebbihake kethira ve nezkurake kethira inneke kunte bina basira. Ve sallallahümme ala Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve ashabihi ve etba'ihi ve sellim. Rabbena gfir lena verhamna ve ente hayrul rahimin. Amin. Velhamdülillahi Rabbil alemin. Amin. Esselamu Aleyküm ve Rahmetullah. Inshallah, we are going to start a new chapter today, which is very interesting, called The Land. This section of the Qur'an was revealed during the 5th year of the mission. It means in Mecca, somewhere around 5th year. I mean, one plus and minus one, because it cannot be really absolutely sure to say, because just historical okay, alaikum salam, Jennifer. Historical narrations, we cannot really make a definite decision because there is no historical evidence really apart from people's narrations. But it's not important. This is the early period of Meccan life. So the situation of the prophet was such that he was really striving hard to spread the message against the opposition and persecutions of the people around him. This is very normal. Why is it normal? Because we all know from the prophetic messages and also narrated in the Quran, and also human wisdom requires that to accept, to understand, if the truth is prevalent in a society or known to the people, God wouldn't really send a new message, replenishing it, perfecting it, or completely renewing it. Because the truth is out there. If anybody wants, they can find it out. But when the prophets are sent to a community, only there is no representation of the truth, the reality. Reality means the purpose of the existence of this world. Why it was created, for a certain purpose, in order to let the conscious beings educate themselves, get to know their purpose of life, who their owner, what are they expected to do in this world. So as long as this purpose is not fulfilled, of course, wisdom requires that there is no need for the existence of this world because it is not fulfilling its job, its function. So the wisdom understands and really makes it necessary that when there is no trace of truth left in a society, then God has to renew, if you like, his message, his covenant with the people. That is why the prophet is or was or has always been, for the case of all prophets, starting the message as a single person against the whole community, if not nation, because the notion of nation is newly developing, so it is a recent century event. So in a community, the Prophet Muhammad was also sent to a community as a single person. And he was surprised that he was appointed to a job. He has not heard of it. He doesn't know what it means. And something happened, and we call it the angel, but of course, people didn't know this is, or the prophet himself didn't know it was an angel, etc. And then understood that really the message is serious, and he was employed, he was given or assigned to a post, to a mission to convey the message, and started conveying the message, starting from his own very close family member. So it is very understandable. You would start telling your wife, your husband, your siblings, your very close relatives. And then to the society, of course, his wife knew him, his character, so that she wasn't expecting any doubt, any lie from this person, make-up story, because his life is there. And also after receiving the message, he was so surprised, shocked, and trembling. You know, there is something completely strange going on in his life. Anyways, to cut the long story short, he started delivering it. Some people found it strange. This man is maybe seeing some hallucinations, or how they pronounce it, hallucinations. Okay, you understand, some sort of imaginations, and didn't take it seriously. But he said, okay, let him say something. But it was so shocking for them to see that this man is telling something completely different, completely alien to the culture of the community. And also, it's a very strong, literally, it was a very strong statement that wasn't expected of this person. They were challenged because that time the poetry was very commonly used, and that was only the virtue that population was proud of. So the prophet was challenging people, saying that, look, it is not my production. It is impossible. You know that I have been living with you for 40 years. And no one has ever seen that I am really practicing poetry at all and claiming to be the poet at all. I am an ordinary, very simple, poor, orphan man. And practically speaking, his profession was just to be a shepherd. And from the beginning, they know that. But after 40 years, of course, he got married with his wife, who's called Khadija, whatever, the name is not important. And he was dealing and helping his wife. And of course, it is strangely enough that he was employed by his wife. That's very important anyways, but this is not our subject. Now, this is the 5th year in the really history of the message that we are studying. We are going through the chronological order of the revelation. So we go stage by stage as the sections of the Quran was revealing. The first part of the Quran mostly concentrated on, first of all, human values. That is interesting. Not really belief, not really unity of God, absoluteness of God, but encouraging human values. This was strange because this is just human value. Everybody appreciates it, but he was insisting, all the messages coming on top of each other, insisting that they should be consistent. Everybody should follow the human values, generally accepted human values. And not only that some certain poor people who should follow it, but also elite or the prominent people in the society. And the leaders of the society. It was interesting that the leaders were teaching people, educating people to do that and that, but when it comes to their own benefit, they were not really consistent. So it was an appeal to human nature that they have to be consistent within themselves. Within themselves. Take notice of it. But one thing was extra in the teaching, that we have to pay attention. This world cannot sustain itself, the existence of the world, in the hands of God, who is the creator of the universe, which was known to the community, but which kind of God he was, this wasn't known by the community. So by emphasizing on the importance of the transient nature of the universe, transient nature of human life, demonstrates that we have to prepare ourselves for another accounting. Although at the very early stage, the hereafter or resurrection of the body of human beings were not emphatically mentioned, but there were hints. But usually, morality and ethical subjects had been dealt until really almost towards the end of the Meccan period, even partially went into the Medinian period, just to remind people that these are the fundamentals. So transient nature of the universe, the world, is emphasized. Human values must be respected, are emphasized, and being prepared for taken into account at the end of our life. Nothing is going to be neglected, and there is a purpose in the existence of the universe. These are the main subjects dealt with. Now, we are going to study the section Balad, which is called, the translation is the land. So in this section, the human psychology is going to be almost deeply analyzed as the previous chapters that we studied. In the previous sections of the Quran, we studied what is going on within human beings. Pay attention to it so that you will realize you have a responsibility to manage with your life in a way that should not contradict your human reality. I think this introduction is enough. So let's study the verses one by one. Let me arrange my, okay. Now, Balad, verse 1. لا أقسم بهذا البلد. Oh, be careful. No. The case is not as you think of. This is very usual in the Quranic. If you like eloquence, Quranic style, to start with la, and then as seems to be against the normal non-grammatic structure. La uqsimu, normally it would mean I don't call to witness this land. But it is not the case in this structure of the sentence. La, it means, hey, wake up. Wake up. Be careful. It is, the reality is not like what you think is. It is a completely different thing. I'm going to tell you this, drawing the attention of the audience or the reader. It starts with la. So if we are going to read according to the meaning, not according to the rules of reading the Quran, we have to say la. أقسم بهذا البلد. I call to witness this land. No. Watch out. I call to witness to this land. Witness to what? It means consider the land. Witness to the reality of what I'm going to tell you. The land, of course, before I forget, excuse me, 1 minute. Okay. But the traditional way of understanding this land, بهذا البلد, during the life of the prophet, it is understood as relating to the city or the town. It's a small town. Mecca was a very small town, almost an insignificant, size-wise or population-wise. Medina was much more, and there were many bigger cities around in the Arabian Peninsula. We shouldn't exaggerate and to give honor to the prophet that he was in the capital city of that sometimes we hear from old narrations, that capital city of the Arabian Peninsula, something. Yeah, it was somehow in the center of the people's attention as having the Kaaba representing not necessarily belief in God that time at all, but representing the root of Arab race, which goes back to Abraham. And this house, this Kaaba, the building there, built up by the patriarch of Arab race, Abraham and Ishmael first. And it represented the establishment of this town there. And this house was dedicated to God. That's why it was called the house of God, Baytullah. But people were not really respecting the notion of God as such, as it deserves to be treated. But people were saying that this is the center of our Arab race, and it has an honorable father who, how do you say the word? Let's say patriarch of the race of Arab. I think this is the word. I'm not very quite sure it's the right word or not. But you understand. So this Arab nation really started growing there, starting with the marriage of Ishmael with a woman from Arab race, not there in Mecca, but somewhere else. So around, not in Mecca. So a branch of Arab, and it developed there and spread almost all Hijaz or Arabian Peninsula. Anyway, this is the land. People keep saying that it refers to Mecca. Of course, our principle is not to reject this idea. No, it was correct during the life of the prophet and the people, the first audience of the message, because they were understanding it, and necessarily this land means this town. But now are we going to still say and claim that it is Mecca? No, the Quran is a universal message. Universal message requires it to be understood at a universal level. That is the nature of the Quran. What the Quran claims, that I am the message of God to whole humanity from now on until the end of the world, whatever it is, until us, we are here. So we have to understand land as in two ways. One is in general, very general terms, we can say land is the earth, this planet, which functions as our home. Everything is prepared for us, and we are here as on earth as our home. Also, Quran later on refers to this interpretation, saying that the Quran says, so the earth is for you, and you can stay there for a while. I think the verse is فَلَكُمْ مُسْتَقَرٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ فَلَكُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ مُسْتَقَرٌ وَمَتَاعٌ إِلَى حِينٍ, to a certain time, with a limited time. Let me see in the chat box if there is anything. Shahrani says, no. Okay, let me read it since I opened it. Method is not to reject how the Sahaba understood it, because it was relevant revelation for them. And now it is also relevant revelation for us. So what does this land mean to us? Yes, of course. That's how we should think. But it's not only Sahaba. It is interesting. That is interesting. Sahaba did not make much comment on the Quran. No. Later generation commentators on the Quran, they made extensive explanations, collecting the historical information, and we have to be very careful, mixed up with, not of course with a bad intention, with the Israeliyat called the Jewish traditional narrations. Of course, the Quran says original form of the Torah is correct, but it is expanded by additions in order to make it as a practical storybook or history book of the nation of children of Israel. So Qur'an is saying that the original form is really corrupted by human interference. But when we take out these historical additions, narrations about a certain nation, certain race, the children of Israel, which is called now Jews. If we take out them, what remains mostly in Torah, mostly really as aligned with the teachings of the Quran. So, of course, in order to make commentary, as we are interpreting it here in our classes here, they also add this kind of information and inflated the explanations of the Quran, the meaning of the message of the Quran. So we have to, we are very careful not to state the fact, but we study here in a way that how I can take it as related to my real living conditions and educate my life accordingly. We don't say that this means only the land, definitely means the world, or definitely means where I am living now. When I read it here, for example, I live in New York, so when I read the word, لا يقسم بهذا البلد, I can easily say that God is presenting to my attention the witnessing of this land where I am, as far as I am concerned. You may be somewhere else, Louisiana, so you can say, well, here is my land, here is my home, not necessarily the house, where I am living and how I am interacting with the grace of God. So we are making it relevant to us, not really reducing the meaning to what I understood right now. It is very dangerous. It is very dangerous. We have to remember this when we try to relate the meaning of the Quran, the message of the Quran to myself. It is not a radical statement saying that the fact Quran mentions this, nothing else. No, we are open to everybody's understanding, none of my business. Everybody is responsible for himself. But as far as I am concerned now, I have to pay attention to the witnessing of the land that where I live. That is, I practically understood it. But really, the Quran says, witness this land. I cannot be sure that it is only New York as far as I am concerned. Never, ever. It would be a crime to the universal message of the Quran. That's what we have to understand. So let me see what is going on in this land. Well, I'm so far good, benefiting from the accompanying of the people around me, although some of them agree with me, some of them don't, as far as the purpose of life is concerned. But if I speak to them, they respond to me, and the sky is okay, the rain is really good, and I'm benefiting from air, water, and other productions distributed by the people. And earth is fertile, daily fertile, not many greenery, forests, etc., but still better than deserts, for example. Who provided this land for me? Who provided the social life which enables me or gives me the opportunity to communicate with other people and therefore provide what I need for my living? It is a perfect arrangement, not the social structure of the society. That is something else. This is also a perfect arrangement, somehow with the human interference, because what the good, whatever we see in the world, is the result of the choice of the people. And this choice of the people is according to the nature of the nature of their human side. And this nature of human side is established, firmly established within human spirit. So it is a gift from God. If I see a person here, although he may say, I don't believe, he may say and claim, none of my business, but as an example, say that I don't believe in God, but when I say, can you help me with this one? To lift it up, he helps me. I say, this is from God. Because the sense of compassion to other people's needs and sense of communicating, supporting each other is within human nature. This human nature is the gift of the creator of this land, who is the creator of the universe. So I'm grateful to God, and also as a human being, as far as my conditions of my social life is concerned, I have to be thankful, grateful to this man, saying that, look, you did something according to what you are created for. It means you were loyal to your nature, which is the will of the creator. I must appreciate him that he did something right. And he or she didn't spoil or contradict her nature, God's construction. He preserved the construction in his good action, but it is possible that they may not. And then I wouldn't thank this man, but I will ask God to guide him. That is another subject. So everything is provided by God. Whatever I benefit from is provided by God, and whatever the human beings behave in a wrong way and harms me, this is the human deviation or misuse of their free will by following their egoistic considerations or ambitions, whims. That is their mistake, misuse it. The very typical example, you may use the knife to cut whatever you want to do for it, prepare your salad and food, etc. That is the purpose of the person who made the knife and sold it to you. No one makes this knife, in the production line out there in the industry. So I will make knives so that people will kill each other with it. It's not a general practice at all, but somebody may use it to harm another man or animal or plant, may use it and misuse it in a wrong way. Human beings are free, but it doesn't deny the reality, which is the knife is made to be used in the useful way, not harmful way. That's what we have to understand, our nature. We will discuss this matter here in this chapter as well, because Qur'an very frequently refers to reality, human reality. You have to be very careful not to misuse the freedom I gave you. So as far as I understand, this land is witnessing that the provider of this land is a compassionate, merciful, wise one. That is what I got, the message for myself from the verse 1. Okay, I love this analogy, Jennifer. Okay, 35. Yeah, it is practical. Thank you. I like simple examples. Very simple. I don't usually use complicated examples because it bothers my mind as well and makes me or leaves me confused. So this is clear. Simple analogies are much better. The second One. وأنت حل بهذا البلد. Mhm. While you are set free in this land. What does it mean? Hill. It's an interesting word. Most of us familiar with the word halal, mahal, hal, to resolve a problem, to give permission to get familiar with. Halil, which is the title of Abraham, all come from the same word. So, وَأَنْتَ حِلٌّ بِهَذَا الْبَلَدِ, although the translation says here, it is not my translation. I have just chosen from the translators. I'm not the professional translator. I don't claim any knowledge, but I claim only I need to benefit from the Qur'an without binding myself with any specific ideology or method of understanding. So for myself, how can I benefit and make it practical for me? The guidance of my creator. Let me see if it is a guidance from my creator or not, with the analogy and also questioning, not taking for granted, questioning it, whether it is really appropriate to my nature, the way I am made, and the nature of the universe, the way it is made. It should be no contradiction. So I see that you are set free. It means you became familiar, a kind of established a kind of relationship, and become familiar with this land. You love it. Why? Why shouldn't I love the land where I live? Because I am somehow connected to the land in my existence. Whoever created me in this land where I am gave me the opportunity to benefit from it, to interact with it and benefit from it and satisfy my being in this world. But I have to remember one thing. It is not an accident. It is perfectly arranged, purposefully arranged for my need to be satisfied. So this also a kind of swearing or calling to witness my familiarity, my loving relationship, my feeling free and set in the land where I am. Even not only you may understand, as we said at the beginning, that the land means the whole world. Say, I am very comfortable here. Whatever I need is provided already before I arrived here, before I was brought here. So do you think it is not a significant witnessing to a reality? What is the reality? Now it's not mentioned yet. It is some interesting points that my attention is drawn to, and I have to wait for the result. Yeah, that is the reality. That's correct. I am really comfortable. Halil, very close friend, very warm friend of this land. I love it. I am benefiting from it. I enjoy. So, how? How come that I found myself in a land, everything is provided for me freely, everything. So we may not say this, life is not free. Life is free, but we make up lots of extra needs as a result of the imposed fashion or habits of the community around us, and necessities that these kind of social and political institutions or establishments really make us or put us in a position that I have to work really hard to struggle in order to keep my relationship with this land and be a happy, well, lead a happy life. That is artificial. That is not real. Everybody knows it. I mean, everybody knows it. I don't want to mention what is going on in the world. You know much better than we. Now just everything is ready for you to buy and consume, whether you need it or not. And lots of artificial needs have been introduced to the life of the people. That is a side. It is artificial. But as it is created, we see that we are really comfortable in this land. So industrial revelation turned the world upside down. That is something else. Well, lots of bad things are happening in the world. These are human choices, not the choice of the creator. Choice of the creator is to make me feel comfortable, familiar, friendly with this land, which is freely given to me, provided for me. The verse 3, it is getting into the subject step by step, and the subject is becoming more and more serious. What? What is it to do with it? The begetting and the begotten. It means, I mean, literally means really the father. It means the parent and the child. What? What is that? What is it to do with it? Of course, it is interesting that human beings get married and the children are created. But again, let me understand from the structure of the sentence that it is again a witnessing to the call of the one who is speaking here. It means, hey, pay attention. We said la. La is a very important word here. So, be careful. Hey, watch out. It means, I will say, watch out. It is the reality is not as you think of. That's why I would really translate it, translate la. So, hey, watch out. The reality is not as you think. No. If you want, for example, if you are looking at the speech of a person and then you are speaking to him, he's just telling something really not true at all. You say, no. Let me explain to you what the reality is. If you are sure, the speaker in this text is sure. He's saying, no. The reality of existence is not as you think of. That is la. It is a very important word. It is very frequently used in the Meccan period of the revelation. So we have to know it if you are studying the Quran. I'm sure you all are. And when you read it, this, for example, what does it mean? So it is lots of, and the following verses also have the meaning of la in front of them, because where refers to the same la. It means if you want to read it meaning-wise, you have to say la yuqsamu bihadha al-balad wa la anta hillun bihadha al-balad wa la walidun wa ma walad. This will continue like this because it is just a grammar, obvious grammar. I'm not making it up. It's obvious grammar. So what is to do with walad and walid? It means the parent or the father, the one who gives birth to, and the one who is the product. Do you just consider that seriously? It just comes to your mind that the universe is working in such a way that what we call cause as the one who is producing, giving birth to the effect. Really? Yeah, how the things are going. Even in the relationship of the father, mother, parent, actually, and the child is the same. As if the parents are the cause of existence of the child. Oh, it says, hey, be careful. La. What? Be careful this relationship between the cause of anything and the result, which is called effect of anything, or any effect that you are experiencing in this world. Very careful. You may get married and then the wife may be pregnant. It doesn't mean that you are creating the baby. No, you may put a seed and a shoot comes out. It doesn't mean that the seed is producing the plant, or DNA is really producing the plant. DNA is the wallet, plant is the wallet. Is it really true? Be careful about this relationship. Don't be confused or don't be misled by some, I'm not against science, definitely. I mean, we have to study the universe. It is the command. It is the order of the Qur'an, actually. You have to look at the world. You have to go and travel over the earth, watch around. Don't you look at this and that, the birds on your top, flying really in a perfect row, and whatever they are doing, you are observing them and everything. Pay attention to it, the stars, the galaxies, and the time, and animals, plants. The Quran is full of encouragement to study the universe, but in order for the people who study the universe and say that this is all happening accidentally. Why? That's nothing but the causal chain. Yeah. Walid and Walid, the parent and the child. Is it? Be careful this relationship, the Quran says. It is not as you think, apparent as it appears to be. The shoot is, or the plant is, make it simple, the plant is produced by the seed. Seed has no power, knowledge, will, wisdom, doesn't know you, cannot really communicate and interact with the rest of the world, doesn't know how the order of the world works, functions. So it will affect itself, it will adjust itself according to the conditions of the order of the universe. It is impossible to think in this way. So that is a serious warning. So what we started now from the place where we are, the earth or the city, whatever you call it, doesn't matter, where you are as your home, and then your familiarity with it, benefiting from it, getting acquainted with it, you are fine. And now be careful what is going on around you. Is it really the relationship between the things themselves without any source of existence arranging all this? Can they be, or can they give birth, anything in this world, to another thing by themselves, or it is arranged, it is created in this way? Think about it. It is a serious matter. Okay. Let's go a little bit further. لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد. Now the subject is coming to human reality now. We have indeed created man in hardship. Hardship. What is hardship? It is quite interesting. Do you think the one who created me, yeah, just a minute, yeah. To suffer from the difficulties of this life? Is it really? Or there is something else? Really? My reality? There are many meanings anyways here. If we are left on our own desires or on ourselves, we cannot provide any of the things that we need. We cannot do it. So it is hard to realize what I need if I think I am going to do it. It means guarantee my future, guarantee my health, guarantee my life. It is very difficult. We can understand it in this way because the hardship comes from my wrong attitude. What does it mean? If I think that I am going to guarantee my life, so I have to have this, I have to have this, I have to have this, then I feel that I am under a very heavy responsibility, heavy load to take care of my life, to take care of the safety and needs of my family and my children, and later on my grandchildren. Oh man, we have to suffer a lot in this world. This is nothing but my attitude, right? Not really the way we are created, which is called trust in God. It means we have to take very comfortable, relaxed attitude. Now, what I need? Of course, I need to eat. Of course, I need to have a shelter. Of course, I need to have some means of sustaining my life. So the simple example again of it, of course, I or somebody else has to cultivate the land, wait for God to create the result. So the order of the universe teaches everybody what to do in order to provide or get what they need, whatever they need. But if I think I am going to guarantee my provisions, I become really psychologically depressed because it may harm me, it may kill me, it may cause illness to me. My child may not be safe as he's going here or there, driving here. So every day, oh, it is a burden on me. Be careful, be careful. I become psychologically depressed. We, of course, on Saturdays, we need some books, a book which is Nursi. The author of the book is something Nursi. It has lots of titles. Now, I call it, keep it simple, nursing. Nursing is an excellent example. We are, he says, really traveling on the ship of the earth. Now, let's make it simple. We embarked on a ship, which we are really. The earth, the globe of earth is like a ship, isn't it? So we have some ammunitions with us in order to secure our life. And if I say, look, I am going to guarantee it, I am going to really protect it by myself. If I don't, I will lose it. Everything will be disaster. This sense of relying your own power makes you feel that you have to carry the load, whatever you need for your life, on your shoulder. And this analogy goes on. It's a simple analogy. And the owner of the commander of the ship comes, commander or whatever you call it, the one who is driving and responsible for the ship, comes and tells you, man, what are you doing? All your properties on your shoulder? What do you mean? Do you think if you put them on my ship, where you are on board, do you think I will suffer from it? I'm carrying you and your load on your shoulder. Don't be crazy. Trust the ship, the owner of the ship. Trust me. Put it, your properties, your ammunitions for your life on the ship and sit on it. Say, okay, these are mine, and I sit on it. I'm protecting them, and the ship will carry me as well as my ammunition, whatever I need for my life. Trust me and feel comfortable. Why do you torture yourself? It's a kind of insult that you don't trust the ship, therefore you don't trust me. What's going on? Yeah, kabad, very hardship, very difficulties. The reason being in this contradictory against human nature position is this. We are given free will, which is going to be taught as well here in the same section of the Qur'an that we are studying now under discussion. But we know that we have free will. We can choose either of two options at least. So these two options is given to me. One is according to the true, real nature of this existence of the universe. The other one is my imaginations. Now, for example, I can imagine that the universe exists by itself. Okay, I am free to imagine. I can imagine that I am the one who is creating the vegetables, fruits, or meat, whatever, the animals, and who is guaranteeing the rain, the clouds, and atmosphere, etc. Or it is already provided for me. They are already provided for me, and my responsibility is not to spoil them. And trust the one who provided this land for me. Trust the one who provided all these provisions, necessary provisions for me. Who it is the one who, the owner of this land is the one who provided and guaranteed my provisions. For example, I do nothing but put the seed in the land and just use the already created water and water it and watch out and learn from the order which season I should do it, which season I should do what to this plant, but I am not creating it. I'm just presenting my need to the one who is going to create it. Who is it? Who is the creator of this land, this home, this world. So trusting does not mean I shouldn't sit on my properties, protect it. But the contrary option is putting the property on my shoulder and saying that I am going to guarantee my life, the life of my family members, etc., as a father, as a mother. But I have to do I have to choose according to the option given to me in the order of the universe, not using my arrogant attitude and say that it is me who is guaranteeing my needs. No, it is me who is asking the owner of this land to give me what I need. I am the one who is needy. I am the one who is begging in my actions. I am not the one who is the guarantor of my needs, whatever, ammunitions, whatever I need to take care of my life. I have to realize that whatever I do, first, I can't stop the land revolving around. I can't stop the time. I can't stop my life to remain as young as ever as I was once upon a time. So I can't stop aging. And ultimately, the ultimate truth, I can't stop dying. I can't stop death. I can avoid it. So I have to understand nothing is really created by me, nothing is guaranteed by me, but on the contrary, everything is guaranteed by the creator, owner of this land. It is so simple to understand. It's not hard to really conceive this message. So, because of difficulties come from what? Hardship comes from what? First of all, to resist, this is the key point, against the egoistic claim of my option of free will. Egoistic claim that I am the one who is guaranteeing, I am the one, in fact, creating, as if I see no sign, but people may say, I'm the one who is taking care of my family. I am the one who is looking after my child. I am the one who's protecting my young children, or I'm the one who is really protecting the atmosphere. Atmosphere is perfect. Don't spoil it, man. That's enough. So don't pollute it. That is enough. So the creator, the owner of this land, doesn't need your contribution. The creator, the owner of the universe, just to be consistent within the order of the universe, as the order is established within yourself as well, within your creation. Be consistent with your human side. You see the beauty of the message to the people around him, with no prejudice, no certain bias understanding, just calling them to act in this world, to live in this world according to their reality, the way they are created. So I would say God's message which is called nowadays, I don't like the word, but there's no other option. Religion is nothing but my reality, being consistent within myself. But I must be extremely careful not to be drawn away by the option of the free will, which always comes to me with the alternative contrary to reality. That's an option. It has no reality, but it's an alternative given to me. So to draw myself away from it, not to be sucked by this side, I have to try hard. I understand from this verse that the real hardship to fight against my ego. That is the hardship. Otherwise, there is no hardship. If you go as the universe presents to you, if you go as your human nature really supports you or motivates you, this is good. When you do something good, you feel comfortable and relaxed and happy. That's why it is just and support, really. So it is so easy. It is not hard at all. It's not kabad. No, it is very hard. Yeah. So we have to understand this verse is interesting. Otherwise, we say, you see, God says life is hard, so we have to struggle hard. Yes, you have to struggle, you and I have to struggle hard in order to not to be drawn by false, wrong, alternative, which is egocentric choices. I am doing it. I am guaranteeing it. I am securing my life and the life of, I am the one who is securing the health of my family members. I am. That is all the problem. To resist is difficult. But if you prefer not to choose this side, life is so easy, as other verses of the Quran clearly, openly explains it. If you confirm the beauty of this word, we studied much earlier, then God makes your life easy, smooth to continue. Do your job. Don't misinterpret your position in the world. Don't say I am the center of my world. I am created to be in contact and trust my creator who has provided this land for me. So God says, I'm going to make your life easy. فَصَدَّقَ بِالْحُسْنَى فَسَنُيَسِّرُهُ لِلْيُسْرَى. We will make your life very smooth, easy, sweet, that you will enjoy it. But one thing is drawn. One thing is really important and difficult. If you choose your egoistic side, to follow your egoistic side, you cannot really bear the load of this world, and you have to suffer from stress, depression, psychological problems, and you will lose your sleep anyways. This is what the reality that we learn from these messages related to our real living conditions now and here, everybody. So we can really benefit from the message of the Quran in this way, to me, without losing ourselves in gathering lots of information. Just make it practical. That's just, inshallah, we will continue. Oh, it's already time's up. No one reminded me. Thank you very much. Inshallah, next Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, 5 o'clock, Saturday, 11 a.m. in New York, of course. Eastern time, standard time. So next Monday at the same time at 7 p.m. Inshallah, we will be together. May Allah be pleased with all of you. Thank you very much. Jazakumullah. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.